Dear Oliver Prince, hello, my name is Choi Young-un, a student of Gyeongnam Foreign Language High School. I am writing to thank you for your contribution to the Korean War. There were a lot of heroes for the Korean War, but you were the only person I could emphasize the most. A while ago, I saw a movie called 국제 Market. I heard that you contributed to the success of Hungnam retreatment. You and your army inflicted damage to the Chinese army so that you could stop the Chinese army approaching Hungnam. Thanks to you and your army, numerous people could save their lives. When I saw the movie, that scene was really impressive because it was the greatest mission in history. In fact, I can't believe that I'm writing a letter to someone who was in the site. If it hadn't been for your sacrifice, many innocent people would have been killed by the Chinese army. Also, I heard that your army, UN Army, and Korean Army almost raised the flag of victory. It is regrettable that the complete unity was not achieved due to the cold weather and the Chinese attack. You might hope to win the war. Unfortunately, the war does not end yet. However, do not worry about that. After your sacrifice and contribution, we will unite the South and North Korea. It is really hard to do that right now, but we will study hard and be the most influential people to unite our country. I promise, the war will end and there will be no defeat. Although our nationalities are different, both of us hope to unite the peninsula. Finally, really thank you to your contributions. And do not worry about the future, just believe me. Sincerely, Choi Young-un.
Dear Normish, hello, I am Iji-woo and I live in Changwon, Korea. I'm a Gyeongnam Foreign Language High School student. I got a chance to write a thank you note to the UN veterans of the Korean War to mark United Nations Armed Forces Day. During the Korean War, our country received not only human and physical support, but also medical support from many countries. I would like to thank everyone who helped us. Most of all, I appreciate the establishment of Norwegian Mobile Army Surgical Hospital, and for those who worked there. At the time, Norway established Normesh and dispatches 623 medical personnel, including doctors and nurses, to Korea. And there, about 19,000 people and soldiers were treated at Normesh, and 98% of them were found to have saved their lives. I was more surprised that 623 people who worked there were all volunteers, including doctors, dentists, nurses, and administrative staff. Furthermore, I could feel how strong their service spirit was, in that they extended the period so that more than 100 employees could work longer than 6 months. Also, I was so touched by their willingness to help our country. At the time, Korea, which was swept away by the war, was miserable. The whole nation was suffering from poverty and the medical system almost collapsed. However, I was very thankful to provide medical support to Koreans. Normesh's effective healthcare system has contributed to higher survival rates than in previous wars. And the dedication of healthcare system and medical staff was very successful. And Norway did its best to help Korea. If Norway or other countries did not help during the Korean War, they would have been more casualties because they could not enjoy medical benefits. Although it is a relationship formed by the tragedy of war, I hope that the relationship between Korea and Norway will become stronger. I will continue to remember the spirit of service and dedication of Normesh today. Thank you for reading this letter and for all of your dedication and love for this country, Korea. With respect, Iji-woo.
Dear William Speakman, Hello, Mr. William Speakman. I am Liswa from Changwon, Korea. To mark United Nations Armed Forces Day, there was an event to write letters to veterans who fought for peace during the Korean War. And this opportunity was the opportunity for me to write to you. First of all, I sincerely thank you for coming from such a distant country and fighting for peace over our country. In a life-threatening situation, I know it's not easy to decide to participate in another country's war. The battle you participate in was a battle between the Australian and British units and the Chinese People's Support Army during the Korean War. You and your comrades carried out hand-to-hand combat by with grenade to prevent Chinese troops taking numerical superiority. At the time, the troops were almost out of ammunition, but it was a great achievement to not give up until the end and to infiltrate the enemy camp and fight by throwing dozens of grenades. In the process, there were hardships such as serious leg injuries, but nevertheless, you did not back down until your troops withdrew and defend your position for more than 4 hours to prevent the enemy's advance. If I had hurt my leg in a difficult situation, I would have given up right away. But it's great that you and your troops never back down until the troops withdraw and defend the position to the end. I remember what you said. A soldier always thinks about where he fought. I want to be buried in Korea for good. I respect that you considered Korea not just a battlefield, but a place where we can live together forever. We will never forget your contribution. Thank you for thinking of Korea as an eternal lasting place even after that. In the future, I want to live my present life to be remembered as a great person like you, following your persistence and sacrifice. Lastly, thank you for reading this letter, and I hope you rest well. With respect, Swati.